boys and girls. Welcome back to preschool time. I really missed you. I hope you're having fun raking leaves and taking in all the fun things of fall. Let's start with our opening song. Let me see if you remember it. Welcome to our preschool time, our preschool time, our preschool time. Welcome to our preschool time. I'm so glad you're here. So today we're going to talk about the pumpkin patch. And a pumpkin patch is simply a place where a lot of pumpkins grow. They grow on the ground with vines. Now we're also going to talk about shapes today. Can anyone tell me what shape a pumpkin is? That's a pretty easy one. You got it. It is a circle, but sometimes there are also a different shape. Have you ever heard of an oval? We're going to talk about those in a little bit. Sometimes they can be an oval. So I'm going to go over some shapes with you, and I want you to tell me what they are. And I'm going to sing a song, and it goes like this. Do you know what shape this is? Shape this is, shape this is. Do you know what shape this is? I'm pointing to right now. Okay, let's give it a shot. You ready? Here are my pumpkins. Aren't they silly? You'll recognize them when you hear the story because Mrs. Swavely will read that story about different shapes of pumpkins. So, what shape is this? Do you know what shape this is? What shape this is? What shape this is? Do you know what shape this is? The one I'm pointing to. Right there. Do you know what that is? Oops. You know what? It does kind of look like a square, but it's not quite a square. Let me show it to you. This one right here. What is that? A rectangle. Good job. Okay. Do you know what shape this is? What shape this is? What shape this is? Do you know what shape this is? I'm pointing to right now. What about this one? What do you think? What shape pumpkin? It has 3 sides. Good job. It's a triangle. That's silly. I've never seen a triangle pumpkin before. Do you know what shape this is? What shape this is? What shape this is? Do you know what shape this is? I'm pointing to right now. What about that one? That's easy, isn't it? I bet you all know the shape of that pumpkin. It's a circle. You got it. I think everybody got that one. Do you know what shape this is? What shape this is? What shape this is? Do you know what shape this is? I'm pointing to right now. I heard somebody say a circle, and you know what? It does kind of look like a circle, but look, it's the shape of like an egg. So it's not a circle. And I mentioned it before when we were talking about pumpkins. You're right, it is an oval. Oval. Do you know what shape this is? What shape this is? What shape this is? Do you know what shape this is? I'm pointing to right now. What is that one? It kind of looks like a square, but no, it's not a square. What shape is that? No, not a heart, but that would be a fun pumpkin to make, wouldn't it? It's a diamond. I've heard some of you say that, a diamond. Okay, one more. Do you know what shape this is? What shape this is? What shape this is? Do you know what shape this is? I'm pointing to right now. I don't think we did this one yet. What shape is this? Yes, it's a square. Now we're going to play a fun game and see if you can get your shapes. But let's go over the shapes one more time before we play the game. Okay. What shape is this? Rectangle. Good. What shape is this? Oval. You guys really remember. And this shape? Triangle. This one we just did. Square. This one. circle, and finally, this is probably the hardest one. Starts with a D, D, diamond. Okay, I have a pretend pumpkin seed. We're gonna be working with real pumpkin seeds in a bit. And what I'm gonna do is hide this pumpkin seed on one of these shapes, but I'm not telling you which one, and you will have to guess which one I put it under. Okay, I'm gonna start. Okay, I hope you couldn't see it. Who wants to guess? Okay, somebody said circle. Let's look at the circle. Circle? Nope, not there. What other one? Whoa, somebody's getting fancy. Diamond. Does anybody remember where the diamond is? Nope. Okay, let's try it. The triangle. There it is. Good job. Let's play again. Oop, drop my seed. Okay, let's see. Triangle, you think I put it in the same one? Well, maybe I did. Let's check. No. Another one. Oval? Let's check. Oval? Nope. Okay, circle. A lot of you know circles. Let's try that. Nope. Square? You got it. Good job. Okay, I'm gonna hide it one more time. Okay, let's go over our shapes one more time. We have a rectangle, an oval, a triangle, a circle, a diamond, and a square. So where do you think it is? Circle, let's try. Nope. Another one, another guess? Oval? Nope. Another guess? Rectangle? Nope. Oh, I heard one somebody say diamond. Let's see. There you go. Boys and girls, that was a lot of fun. Now, we just talked about pumpkin seeds. I'm gonna take you into my kitchen and we are going to make roasted pumpkin seeds. The recipe is on the email I sent your grown-ups, but also I'll tell you the recipe as we make the seeds. So come along with me. All right, boys and girls, we're gonna start getting our seeds for the roasted pumpkin seeds. Now, this first part, a grown-up has to do. So get your grown-up and have them help you prepare your seeds. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the top off my pumpkin. And you can see I certainly wouldn't ever want you to be near the knife. So get your adult to do that. See, I'm just going around. I wonder what it's going to look like once we get inside. Let's see. Just a minute, I'll take the top off and you'll get to see what it looks like inside. You might have done the same thing with Mrs. Striggle as far as the pumpkin. So let's see if I can get this off. Just about. Look, it is off. Now comes the fun part. The next step, boys and girls, is to rinse these seeds off, because you don't want all that orange stuff, with warm water. With your adult help, you can do this. It actually feels really kind of good. You can get all that on. Just get the seeds. All right, boys and girls, mine are almost done. So I'm going to finish up and then come right back. Okay, our next step is to put your pumpkin seeds on a tea towel to let them dry a little bit. And I'm going to take my tea towel and even blot them so that I can help them. And don't worry if there's some of that orange, that'll go away. It won't hurt anything. All right, we're going to let these dry for a little bit, and then we will roast them, and how delicious they're going to be. So stay tuned. I'm back, boys and girls. Now it's time to actually roast our pumpkin seeds. So put your pumpkin seeds, about a cup, in a bowl. Have vegetable or canola oil, about 1.5 teaspoons, about a teaspoon of salt, and you get to mix it together. And you should be able to do this part. So put that in, and then take a spoon and just mix it all together. Oops, one escaped. Now pour it on your pan. Get all that good stuff with it. Spread them out so they all can bake evenly. Now your grown-up is going to have to do this part, but you need to preheat your oven to 250 and then put your seeds in for about 30 minutes. You'll know they're done when they're crispy and golden brown. So I'll check back with you when mine are done. Boys and girls, my pumpkin seeds have been in for about 10 minutes. So I am going to actually stir them a little bit. Oh, sorry, can you see that? I'm gonna stir them a little bit so that they get nice and even browning. And you can do that every once in a while, but your grown-up needs to do that and be very, very careful because the pan will be hot, so please do not touch the pan. All right, I'll come back when they're all done. All right, kiddos, I'm taking them out of the oven, and make sure your adult does that because it's very, very hot. I'm gonna stir them around. Mine took about 45 minutes. It took longer than the 30 minutes on the recipe, but you'll just have to see with your grown-up when yours are done. Hello, boys and girls. My pumpkin seeds are done. Can you see how good they look? And now I'm ready to taste it. Delicious. And you can put them on yogurt, on soup, on salads, or just eat them plain. Enjoy. Hi, boys and girls. I have a special treat for our lesson today. Mrs. Striggle did an experiment with a pumpkin for a pumpkin catapult. So take a look, and if you want to try it at home, you can. It's a lot of fun.
There are so many fun activities and crafts and science experiments that you can do with pumpkins. And here's another one. We are gonna make a catapult out of a pumpkin, and we're gonna do some experimenting to see which things can be catapulted the furthest. So first, what we have to do is make our pumpkin catapult. To do that, we have popsicle sticks, and you may choose however many popsicle sticks you want. In fact, that's a fun way to experiment too. How many popsicle sticks work best? In this case, I'm going to make them out of 5 popsicle sticks. A Jacoby little gourd, little pumpkin, a plastic spoon, and 3 rubber bands. And then up here are just some items that I found that we're going to experiment with to see which catapult the farthest. And some of the things I found outside in my backyard because I love to be outside. And then a few of the things I found inside, like the pom-pom and the paperclip. Whatever you find though, friends, make sure your grown-ups say it's okay to use, and make sure they're soft and they're not going to hurt anybody if it were to catapult a long way and accidentally hit someone. All right, so let's start. We're going to take our popsicle sticks and we are going to put them all together like this. We're going to take one of the rubber bands and wrap it around so that it stays all together. Friends, you might need to have your grown-ups help you a little bit with this. This can get a little bit tricky. All right, now that I have my popsicle sticks all together, I am going to rubber band them onto my pumpkin. So I'm going to take one rubber band and put it on this way. And then I'm going to take my other rubber band and kind of make an X with it. And this will just help to keep the popsicle sticks in place. Whoops, my one rubber band's falling off a little bit. There we go. Now you're going to take your plastic spoon, and this is what's going to be the catapult. So what you do is just put it under one of the rubber bands, like this. Then you can put your items in the spoon, and we're going to catapult and see which things go the furthest. So we're here with the catapult that we made, and we are going to see which of the items that we found will catapult the furthest. Let's start with the pom-pom. Whoops. All right, ready? Count with me. We're going to count to 3 and then catapult it. 1, 2, 3. Oh my, that didn't go too far. All right, let's see what's next. How about the paper clip? We'll see how far that one goes. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh my goodness. That went so far that way that we can't even see it. Wow, that went a far way. All right, let's try the piece of mulch. So here's the mulch. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, that went there. Let's see, the pom-pom went a little bit further, but I think it bounced. Let's try a flower and see what a flower does. Now, let's stop and think. Do you think the flower is going to go farther than the mulch or less than the mulch? Let's make a prediction. That means we're going to guess. We're going to think about what we know and make the best guess we can. What do you think? All right, let's find out. Oh my goodness, it went farther than the mulch. Who had that prediction? Who thought the flower was going to go further? Some of you did, and some of you thought it would be less. And that's okay. A prediction is just a guess. And then we find out if the guess was the same as what happened. All right, let's try the leaf now. Ready? Here we go. Do you predict that the leaf is going to go further than the flower or not as far as the flower? I hear some of those predictions. All right, let's find out. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, it did not go as far. Look at that. So we learned in this experiment that the leaf went the least amount, then the mulch, then the flower, then the pom-pom, and the paper clip went the farthest, the most distance, because we can't even see the paper clip anymore. Now, this is a fun experiment to do again. You can use the same items, or you can do different items. Another fun thing that you can do is you can build 2 catapults and catapult the same item and see which catapult makes the item go farthest. You can do a lot of experimentation and a lot of predictions and a lot of investigation with your catapult.
Hi, boys and girls. Now we're going to do a pumpkin craft that talks about colors. So come on over to my dining room table and I'll show you what we're going to do. All right, boys and girls, now we're going to do our pumpkin craft. We've talked a lot about shapes today, but now we're going to talk about color. What color is a pumpkin? That's an easy one, isn't it? You're right, they're orange. But do you know what two colors make up orange? No, not blue and yellow, but that's a good guess. Let me show you something to help you out. If you have yellow and you add another color, do you want to guess which color? Green? Well, let's see. Did that make orange? No, kind of a lighter green. Yellow and we can try it, blue. Let's try blue. Did that make orange? No, it did not make orange. What color did it make? Green, you're right. Yellow and, I heard somebody say red. Let's try red. Yellow and red. And can you see that? It's orange. Good job. So let me show you what we have for our craft. We have red paint in a cup. We have yellow paint in a cup. We have 4 marbles. Can you see them there? We have our template, and with the help of a grown-up, you can use that to cut out a piece on construction or tag paper. If all you have is computer paper, that'll work too. So we don't need this anymore. So now what you're going to do is take your marbles, or even if you have a small ball, that would work well too. Dump them in the paint. How fun is that? Now remember, we have red and we have yellow. So if they get mixed together, what color are they going to make? Now we have to mix up our marbles in the paint. So they get all paint all over them. I heard somebody say it, yellow and red makes orange. Now look what fun. You're going to take your marbles and you're going to plop them in the box. Oh, and I forgot to say, you also need a box, a shallow box, so that you don't get paint everywhere. And I also put down newspaper just to protect my table. Plop. Now, we want to mix them. Can anybody guess how we're going to do that? Nope, we're not going to use our fingers, although I guess you could, but it would make a mess. That's right, we're gonna rock it, and we are going to make them go all around. So I'm gonna roll this a little more, and then I'll get back to you. So I did my marble painting, and look what happened. You still see some yellow, and you see a little red, but you also see orange, because the colors mixed. I hope your craft turned out beautiful. You can add some leaves if you want. You can even make it a jack-o'-lantern and put black paper on it once it dries to make a jack-o'-lantern. There's a lot of different things you can do. I hope you had fun doing that craft. I would love to see some of them if you want to post them for me. Now you get a special treat. Mrs. Swavely is going to read you a story, a really nice story called Spookly the Square Pumpkin. And remember, we have a square pumpkin here, just like our story. So you enjoy.
Hi, boys and girls. I'm Mrs. Swavely, and I'm glad to be back with my St. Peter's Preschool friends again. The last time I was here, we were discussing leaves and all the pretty colors and the different shapes of leaves. Well, today, since we're still in the season of fall, I think a lot of you might be seeing pumpkins. So today we're going to be talking about pumpkins. There are many kinds of pumpkins, and maybe as you walked around your neighborhood or drove around, you might see different pumpkins. This one is called a blue pumpkin. It has blue shading on it. This one's called a cotton candy pumpkin. It looks white. This little guy is called a Jack Be Little pumpkin. They're tiny. We also have a Cinderella pumpkin. And this one's called a Funny Face pumpkin. But I don't see a funny face on that. Do you? And this one's called a khaki pumpkin. It has green stripes. I've also seen green pumpkins, deep orange pumpkins, many different color pumpkins. I think one of the fun things that we like to do right now at this time of year is take a pumpkin, and I just happen to have a little pumpkin right here, and put a face on it to turn it into a jack-o'-lantern. Now, moms and dads are usually, or grandparents, are usually the ones who do the carving, because using a knife can be dangerous and you need to be very safe. So, today I thought we could make a little pumpkin face before I share my story with you. So, this guy already has a stem, but what shape do you think that stem is? Sort of a rectangle? Yeah, look, here's a rectangle. So I could just put a rectangle on top of that just to say, yeah, he's got a rectangle stem. Our jack-o'-lantern needs eyes. What shape could we give our jack-o'-lantern? Make his eyes. How about if we used, what shape is that? A circle. That's right, it's round. And you know what? I'm going to have my jack-o'-lantern have two eyes. If you don't want your jack-o'-lantern to have two eyes, you wouldn't have to, because you are the one that's creating it. But I'm going to give him two round eyes. All right. I think I'm going to give my jack-o'-lantern a nose. What shape could we make his nose? Well, I just happen to have one made, and guess what? What shape? It's tiny. What shape do you think that is? Triangle. That's right. 3 sides and 3 corners. The circle doesn't have any corners because it's just round. But the triangle has 3 sides and 3 corners. Now, I want my pumpkin to be happy, so I am going to give him a smile. And this shape is called a crescent. Yeah, sort of like the moon or a banana. Yeah, there he is. You know what? Just for fun, I just happen to have some squares. And I think a square would make a great tooth. Let's give him 2 teeth. There we go. There we go. 2 teeth. There's our little jack-o'-lantern. And we made him out of shapes. Well, today I am going to share a story with you. Not about a jack-o'-lantern's face, but about a jack-o'-lantern's shape. Now, we just saw that pumpkins do come in many shapes. But let me take this down and share the story. And I'm going to put my glasses on so I can do a better job of reading. This is called The Legend of Spookly the Square Pumpkin. Did you ever see a square pumpkin? Written by Joe Chariano and illustrated by Susan Banta. All right, let's find out. A square pumpkin. Here we have our title page, The Legend of Spookly, the Square Pumpkin. One day in the pumpkin patch, the strangest little pumpkin hatched. Spookly wasn't like his friends, where they had curves. He had ends. Spookly was different. He was odd. He was rare. Spookly the pumpkin wasn't round. He was square. Look at this guy over here, right there. Not round like the one I made. While the round pumpkins had fun rolling along, poor Spookly sat there shaped all wrong. He tried and tried with all his might, but he couldn't budge. He just sat tight. The other pumpkins teased him because he was square. Spookly wished he was round and could roll everywhere. That is, until one night when they all discovered it's fine to be round when the weather is fair, but there are times it's better to be square. Halloween was just a day away when a mighty storm blew across the bay. It tossed the pumpkins to and fro. It snapped their vines, and then off they'd go. Bouncing left, slamming right, banging, bashing. What a sight! Spookly sat there filled with fright, but glad to be a square that night. Because he had a flat side, he stayed in one place where the round pumpkins were rolling and kept going. Oh my goodness. Suddenly, the fence that was keeping all the pumpkins in the garden gave way, and 3 pumpkins rolled out and into the bay. The bay is water. Maybe some of you have visited a bay. So now they're splashing along in the water. Spookly knew what must be done. It was up to him. He was the one. He teetered, he tottered, he tipped, he tried. He finally flipped, and he was on his side. Again he tipped, and again he flopped, and again he flipped. And then he stopped right in the gap where the fence had snapped. He blocked that way, and the hole was capped. Like you put a cap on top of a milk bottle and you stop the milk from coming out. He capped that hole so the pumpkins, the round ones, couldn't roll through. All the pumpkins shouted, "Hooray! Spookly the square pumpkin had saved the day." Then a pumpkin hit him with a whack. He thought his shell would start to crack. And then another one hit him with a thump, and another one with a smack. My goodness, they're all piling up in that corner. Look at that, all those round pumpkins. But he stayed in his spot. Then one by one, a ton of pumpkins piled on the stack with a bang and a bash and a crunch and a crash. And then it all went black. At dawn, which is early in the morning, when the storm had stopped, the farmer came out to check his crop. He picked his pumpkins up one by one and laid them out in the warm, dry sun. And when the last was moved away, the farmer could see what had saved the day. An odd-shaped pumpkin, short and dense, was wedged against that broken fence. Its shell was bruised, its stem was too, but there was brave little Spookly, sitting straight and strong and true. Right then and there the farmer knew, of all the seeds he'd ever sown, Spookly's were the most special that had ever grown. And the next year, when it was time to sow, he sowed those seeds in every row. He watered and weeded and watched them grow. And oh, that morning about mid-June, when the pumpkin patch began to bloom, there were tiny pumpkins everywhere, hundreds and hundreds, and most of them square. But, are you ready? Some were cubes, and some were rectangular. Some were flat, and others triangular. There was a bed of bright red ones and 2 rows of blue. There were polka dot pumpkins and rainbow ones too. There were thousands of colors and hundreds of shapes. Oh, what a garden variety makes. Isn't that wonderful? All the different colors and shapes. Now, every year on Halloween, Spookly's patch is quite a scene. People come from far and near to see what wonders grew that year. They stop, they gawk, which means they're looking all around. They gaze and they stare. And then they pick a pumpkin that's round, triangular, or perfectly square. Look at all those choices and colors. So now you know the story of how Spookly grew. Maybe someday you'll tell someone too. And they'll go tell someone who will go tell another. And maybe one day we will all discover that you can't judge a book by its cover or a pumpkin. That's right. Boys and girls, when I think of shapes, as I said to you, I think of putting a shape of a face on a round pumpkin. I don't think I've ever seen a square pumpkin. I've seen oval pumpkins, tall pumpkins, humongous pumpkins, and tiny pumpkins. But no matter what the pumpkin is, you can make it your own and enjoy it, because it doesn't matter what the pumpkin looks like. They're all special. Well, boys and girls, I hope you continue to enjoy the fall season and all the colors around us, whether it's still the fall leaves or orange pumpkins or green pumpkins or striped pumpkins. It was great being back. Take care, and we'll see you again. Bye.
Hello, boys and girls. I can't believe our preschool time is done, but I had a lot of fun talking about pumpkins and pumpkin patches, so I hope you did too. And I want to thank Mrs. Striggle and Mrs. Swavely for joining in on this lesson. So let's say our goodbye song. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Stay safe.